All right, let's get something straight. Some of you might hit a point in your enlightenment work, in self-inquiry, spiritual journey, that you discover that nobody else exists. This is known as solipsism. It's the direct consciousness awakening experience that you can see that everyone else, even the ones that you know and love, are imaginary. When we're talking about enlightenment and the truth of no self, those awakenings are just literally that there is no self, meaning that when you're on the street or in public or at the park or at home, just as I described, that there is no one inside of the body doing any of the actions or thinking all the thoughts or having any of the feelings. That applies to everybody in the outside world. When you look at all these people walking around, awakening can show you that they're just empty bodies with nobody inside of them. No one inside of them doing any of the walking or any of the thinking or any of the actions. And this is a scary awakening to have because it can make you feel very alone. It can make you feel very isolated. I've seen a lot of stories of people online where this really trips them up and this really bothers them. They get panic attacks, constant anxiety 24/7. Because who wants to look at everyone that they know and love and see that there is nobody inside of those bodies? If you haven't seen much of my content before, I've made many videos before on what the truth of no self and enlightenment is. You can go check those out first and come back to this video if you don't really understand what I'm talking about right now. But I see a lot of people having this experience, and this distresses these people, and they take the completely wrong position on this issue that you're having by saying that this problem is a problem, that this thing is bad, this thing that they're experiencing. And I'm here to soothe those people's nerves here, because what is happening to these people, it is not evil. This is not objectively a bad thing. You're just confused. You're thinking to yourself right now almost, it's unfair that all these other people don't exist and there's no one else having an experience. Like when I'm in my room and then my friend is at their house, like a couple miles away, you're telling me that there's no conscious experience inside of the room that they're sitting in as well? But it just feels like I'm all alone here. It feels like I'm alone and there is nobody here except me. And is it just this way forever? I mean, if enlightenment is true and I can't die and I'm not the body, have I just been experiencing this forever? And I'm just going through a constant state of forgetting and then waking myself up again. It's been happening forever and ever and ever. Well, here's the thing. Notice those sentences that I just said. They're very egotistical, and a lot of them have the words I, me, and my. I am alone. I am in control of the thoughts. I am in the body, and I am scared. People forget about the whole truth of no self thing when they experience this solipsism thing. See, anxiety comes back, the ego comes back through the back door, and the ego develops again, and it's scared. Now, this might not help some of you people in just theory, but having an experience of no self and destroying the ego is something that can really take this solipsism dilemma that we've been having full circle. Because if nobody else exists and there's nobody inside of those bodies, then there is no one inside of your body and you do not exist. That completely eliminates the I am alone fear that we're having, because you aren't alone. That's not really what solipsism is. Solipsism is only kind of halfway true. It's not that you're alone and you're the only one here. You are not here. What reality is, right, is it's this impersonal dream machine that is happening. It's infinite, it's made out of consciousness, and it's been happening forever. And what this dream machine is doing is it's pretending that it is a you. It's playing this twisted game with itself, where this dream machine that's happening, that doesn't belong to anyone, is producing thoughts and images which aren't you. They're happening on their own. It's producing these thoughts and images, and it's actually pretending that it's a human that's scared. It's not I'm the only one here and no one else exists. It's that this whole experience that's happening through your eyes right now is not happening through your eyes. This entire bubble of experience, look around, you're seeing this room, you're feeling these feelings, you're having these images and thoughts in your head, you're smelling these smells, seeing these colors, all that. None of this has anything to do with you. It's happening on its own. So a more accurate way to describe the truth is that the universe is alone. This whole experience that's happening, this is the universe, and it has nothing to do with you at all. This universe is not you. It's only pretending that it is a person, and this you that it's pretending to be does not actually exist. So it's almost like, thank God that nobody else exists, because I actually don't exist either. There doesn't have to be a me that's afraid because I am not a part of this thing at all. Everything that's happening right now is not you. It has nothing to do with you. There's no you to be afraid. There is no you involved in this whatsoever. The universe might be screwed because the universe is alone, and the universe is doing all of these things by itself to keep itself entertained, because it is immortal and exists forever and is formless. It is only made out of consciousness, meaning it cannot die. But you won't understand this until you have an awakening. The whole you thing that's going on right now, the independent, solo, scared, alone person, that thing is not happening. You can almost relax and breathe and say, oh, thank God that it's not as scary anymore, because not only does no one else exist, but it's just the universe pretending that it's a me, and I don't exist either. So thank God I don't exist. So therefore there's no one to even be afraid. Another thing about solipsism is that the universe is infinite and it could technically do whatever it wants. It allows paradoxes. So just because the universe is sitting right there behind your eyes and it's encased in this solipsistic bubble that nobody is in, doesn't necessarily mean that there cannot be other solipsistic bubbles out there as well. The only problem we're having is if there's two gods, two solipsistic bubbles out there, they could never go together and they could never interact with each other because both of these bubbles need to keep their sovereignty or else they would conflict with each other, which is true in a way. However, the universe allows paradoxes. The universe gave birth to itself because there's no real laws of physics within the universe. Like you think, oh, there needs to be a cause and effect in order for something to exist. So there needs to be like a cause to the universe existing, or else how could the universe come into existence? Those are rules of physics that happen inside of the universe, like physics that we know, that has nothing to do with how the universe actually came to exist. The universe came to exist in a magical way. It's almost like, imagine a time traveler in a movie where he went back in time and had sex with his mother, and then the mom gave birth to him. Like, it's like this paradoxical self-sustaining thing that just exists but makes no sense and can make whatever rules it wants because it's infinite imagination made of magic. That's what I'm saying now. Now, I have not been to these deep levels of awakening yet, but who's to say that's not possible? Could two solipsistic bubbles come down and interact with each other while still maintaining their own sovereignty? That's something to think about. Or maybe these two solipsistic bubbles need to stay locked into their own sovereignty, but they can agree to enter a multiplayer mode, a simulation where they both surrender their sovereignty in order for them to interact with each other. Here's the thing about awakening. Awakening goes infinitely deep. When you have an awakening, like a truth of no self or a God realization, you realize there's this consciousness dial where things get trippier and trippier and trippier the deeper you go down the rabbit hole. You twist and you twist and you twist this dial of consciousness, and things go infinitely deep and you discover more and more and more and more. Who's to say that that ever ends? Who's to say that the deepest, most awakened person who's ever existed on this planet even got like a fraction of a percentage of the way there towards the end? If it goes on infinite, 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 more and more and more and more, what else is there down the line that we don't know? Although the truth in himself is true, there's no one inside the body, there's no one who exists, and the universe is doing everything. That doesn't mean that there can't be two bubbles that are almost having their own free will and interacting with each other. So just like I said in my depersonalization video, none of this should scare you. You need to keep your head held high. The worst thing, the scariest case scenario that happens out of this whole thing is that you live forever and you're in an infinite playground and you can play in infinity forever and ever and ever, and you never die because you're not the body. And then you play a game with yourself, you split yourself off, you pretend that you were born, you forget just so you can wake back up again. That's really the scariest thing that could happen. The scariest thing that can happen in your paradigm right now, if you have not awakened, is that you're a sentient being inside of a human that can eventually die and never come back to life and be dead forever. So really think about this. At the end of the day, what is more scary? Being awakened or non-awakened? I'm gonna let you guys decide.